And we're live on Talkonomics, where we talk about money and economics. On today with us, we have Soren. We're going to go over the markets, we're going to go over the news, and we're going to go over what's new in crypto. Welcome, Soren.
Dude, thank you so much for having me on the show. Yeah, let's do it.
I want to start off by going over some of the topics that happened today in crypto, and then we'll jump into the charts, and maybe we'll even talk about the spy balloon that's going around the U.S.
Yeah, you mean the alien mothership? That's how it lands.
Has it landed yet?
No, it's on the way though.
It's on the way, and
According
I think
to CIA.
yes, it is supposed to be carrying like what those chemtrail things, right?
Satoshi's gonna land on the White House lawn and then reveal that Bitcoin is an alien currency.
I believe it. So, just starting off, let's see. Cointelegraph, YouTuber baits MMA fighter into secretly shilling fake NFTs for $1,000. All right. CoffeeZilla, a YouTuber crypto investigator, revealed that American mixed martial artist Dylan Danis promoted fake NFTs project without disclosing receiving no one cares. $1,000. I mean, that's the dumbest article. Let's talk more about what's going on with Logan Paul. All right, skip that one. That was stupid. Cointelegraph.
But to say just really quick, Coffee is actually doing great work. I admire him. He's doing good stuff.
He is.
Yeah, that's $1,000. Like whatever, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I only want to talk about what $1,000 can buy you now. I mean, isn't that what they're calling the new dollar stores? $1,000 stores?
Like carton bags.
Yeah. Well, we only want to get. I saw something that came across my desk today. Something about eggs and helping cure you. I don't know how much we can get into that, but maybe we can drop hints for.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that later. But there is an association to egg yolks and it helping with stuff like that. So people can look that up if they want. What's the next article?
Little Shapes was a social experiment. That's dumb. Would the regulations, India's, let's keep scrolling. We'll find a good one. Protocol Labs, Chainalysis, and Bittrex add crypto layoff. Okay, so looks like more layoffs happening in crypto. FBI seizes $1,000, 100,000 in NFTs and 86 ETH from scammer following Zach XBT investigation. Well, I think just that might be bigger than what was that bank? The crypto exchange they shut down.
One. There's been a bunch.
It happened recently. It was part of their. No.
That was a really big one.
Something related to Silk Road. They made a big announcement about it, and no one had ever heard of the exchange that they shut down.
Oh, I see.
The IBM blockchains effort doomed to fail. Let's see. We'll keep scrolling. This is just to catch anyone up on, what's been happening today. If you're into any of these, drop it in the comments, and I'll be able to answer any questions. If you want me to touch back on a story, we have, for those that don't know, we have viewers right now on Theta TV, where they're viewers on YouTube, Twitch. Where else? We're also live on LinkedIn. We're also live on, which ones did I say? We're also live on Twitter as well. So Twitter, YouTube, Theta, Twitch, Facebook as well. So if you're on any of those, drop a comment and I'll be able to get to your questions as we go through these articles. Let's see. Cointelegraph really just took some really soft pitches today at these articles. Bitcoin's big month. Did U.S. institutions prevail over Asian retail traders? There are no single reason for BTC's 39% price gain.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go over that too. I have some charts showing historic price data from year to year in January.
Hmm.
and I think you'll like some of that information. Let's just cover today's articles from Cointelegraph, and then we'll jump to some of the stories that you want to talk about.
All right, man.
So let's see here. FTX consumers warned of scammers baiting them with return of assets. Okay, so that's something to keep your eyes out for. People never let a good what's the saying? Never let
crisis go to waste.
Yes, never let a good crisis go to waste. And the scammers definitely thrive on that. So if you see like ads on YouTube, and that's been the big thing. Like if you Google something and the very first thing says what you're looking for, but it says that little word ad next to it, 99% of the time it's going to be some type of scam. And if you click on it, you'll get your money stolen. They're really good at making them look like legitimate websites, and just a couple clicks and your MetaMask, and you've signed a MetaMask transaction and everything's gone. So let's see here. Marathon's first Bitcoin sale in 2 years, not the result of distress. Okay, well, that's good. Do you know much about Marathon Digital?
No, actually I don't. But I mean, it's interesting that they're starting to, offload some of their Bitcoin holdings as a result of quote distress. It seems like everyone's in distress. Meanwhile, we have this little minor pump in Bitcoin, and everyone is getting excited like, "Oh, we hit bottom." I don't think so, man. Not according to everything else that's going on around us. But Logan Paul.
I want to touch on that bottom too. We'll look at the DXY and take a look at the inverse reactions to the dollar. As the dollar moves up, assets move down, and as the dollar moves down, other assets move up. So we'll take a look at that as well. Someone said that the dollar DXY has a death cross on the charts.
I was looking at the DXY the other day, so we could. Yeah, I'm excited to cover that with you. What was that one about Logan Paul? You don't want to cover that one?
We can cover. Let's talk about it here for a sec. So Logan Paul's being sued because of what's going on with CryptoZoo. Logan essentially has passed blame on to everyone else in the group, saying, "Oh, well, you guys should have known better. I hired a bunch of criminals to make this project. So you guys, everyone that bought into it should have known that the project was fraudulent and that everyone could have lost their money." Yeah, people didn't like that take, and they want him to be held accountable. Yeah. CoffeeZilla did a great job at bringing a lot of the information to light, and BitBoy Crypto brought a lot of the information to light as well, and gave a good opinion on the whole story. Overall, I think Logan has done a great job climbing to the top of crypto personalities, and not even crypto. I shouldn't say crypto personalities. Is it influencer personalities? Would you call them that? Yeah,
that's a better way to describe it. Yeah,
influencer personality, and it's not an easy thing to come up with new content every day, and he's done a fantastic job at it. But he's definitely throwing his viewers under the bus over and over and over, and people are sick of it.
I mean, it's unethical, and to be at that level that he's at and doing that, you don't. I mean, at that point, do you really need the money, that extra money that he's getting, squeezing out of his audience like that? I mean, you're betraying the trust of the people that made you who you are. So, I don't know, a little bit backwards there.
Yeah, and if you could let me know if you're getting any feedback within the YouTube, if there's any. If our mics and audios are good, let us know in the chat. Let us know that you can hear everything and everything's coming through clearly. Always appreciated. let me actually get our chats pulled up here. I don't want to miss you guys. I know what you say is definitely valuable here. I didn't have the Twitch chat pulled up. We're actually on the front page on Theta TV right now too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it rotates between pages, which is interesting. So once in a while, I get to be on the front page.
Roll the dice, and we won for today.
For today, yes,
because I'm here.
All right, perfect. Let's get that pulled up. Let me just do a quick audio check. All right, perfect. Audio is perfect on the other channels. Just want to make sure on that. All right, so let's take a look here. Ray Dalio says fiat is in jeopardy, but Bitcoin stablecoins aren't the answer either. What else would be the answer if fiat's in jeopardy? What other currency are you using, Soren?
I mean, if Bitcoins and stable coins aren't the answer, is he implying that central bank digital currencies might be the answer? I mean, that's a weird thing to say, isn't it?
Is a CBDC a stable coin?
Yeah, I think it would be. I mean, it would be a digital dollar, so it would stay at $1.
I mean, you would hope so, unless it's called UST.
What do you think it means? What do you think he's like implying?
How much of Ray Dalio's literature have you read?
Very little.
Okay. He's done some really, really good content and had a really, really good piece on the changing of the flags, or I forget the term when you change from one big regime to another big regime. But he had a big breakdown on how the U.S. is slowly transitioning out, and other world economies are slowly transitioning in, and made some recommendations to learn some other languages to be competitive in a global economy.
Yeah. Okay. So I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. So, I mean, I don't know. That's a kind of eerie, a little bit enigmatic thing to make note of. Like, if fiat is in jeopardy, but Bitcoin and stable coins aren't the answer either, then what would be the answer? Like gold, silver, like hard metals, or where would we be going to put our money?
I don't think we've ever. Well, I know what we haven't ever been alive when we've transitioned out of a world reserve currency. I can't imagine that anyone else watching this has been alive either. But I'm sure transitioning from a world reserve currency to the next world reserve currency, that pocket of time before the transition is complete, it is pretty shaky. So holding hard assets like a Bitcoin, I'm not sorry, like gold or like silver, are probably pretty stable assets until the new world reserve currency is picked, and all the countries around the world can repeg their assets. If it all wasn't, fake money, no matter what.
I mean, what if he knows something that we don't, and he's intimating? I don't mean to go down to conspiracy alley here yet, but I mean, from what I know about Dalio is that he definitely has a different perspective and on his approach to looking at investment and macroeconomics and economic cycles. So if stablecoins aren't the answer and the fiat isn't the answer, and Bitcoin isn't the answer, I mean, what's the answer?
What is, right? And I don't even know where you would. Oh, Cat Dog, thanks for the like and the follow. Appreciate you. As far as Ray Dalio goes with his economic theory, he's been on point. Now, he might be doing this article for a little clout, And we'll, only time will tell.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
um,
That's an interesting one for sure. I
it's
mean,
definitely
considering
definitely
his
interesting.
position, his views, and where we are in the macroeconomic standpoint of human history, I would say, or just the relationship that we have, our economic system has to money and crypto being in play in sort of the middle of like fiat and then harder assets like metals and gold and silver. So very interesting.
And just a quick rundown in case anyone missed it. Kraken shut down the Abu Dhabi office. 72% of institutional traders are crypto skeptical this year, says JP Morgan. They're full of shit. Bithumb owner arrested in South Korea over alleged
Ooh.
embezzlement. Ooh. Moody's says regulatory action against Mango Markets exploiter is a win for DeFi. Well, that's nice
Huh.
to hear. So I guess I remember that happening and being one of the largest hacks that happened in the market. Bank of China ex-advisor calls Beijing to reconsider crypto ban. Okay, Bank of China. Ex-advisor. Well, there's probably a reason he's the ex-advisor.
Yeah.
Tether CTO on taking the bull by the horn. Okay, well, Tether's trying to come back. I mean, not that they've gone anywhere, but at least nice to see them in the news, positive
Mm.
for once, semi-positive.
Yeah.
Um, Community mocks Charlie Munger for his obsession with China's Bitcoin ban.
Hmm.
Do you know how old? Do you know who Charlie Munger is? First off,
I've heard it, the name rings a bell when you tell me.
him and Warren Buffett are always holding hands in videos. They're like partners in Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh, okay. That yeah, Charlie Munger. Okay.
He looks like an old like rotten potato you would find at like the bottom of a sack, like all discolored and spotty.
Yeah.
That guy. Guess
Okay.
how
I
old he
remember.
is.
He's probably like 84.
99.
Oh my God, dude. Wow.
99. And the world is taking economic advice from an individual that was alive in 1923. I'm sure I don't even, did they have cars in 1920? I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
The Mr. Marligan, I can't even pronounce that name. Charlie Munger is like an alien, he says. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Charlie Munger, I don't know why the markets heed his advice. I mean, I guess because the U.S. government's privatized by BlackRock, and they pretty much just run the government. They have enough money to probably pay off all the government debt.
Yeah.
Do you know what the market cap of all BlackRock's assets
Oh my
are?
God. It's in the multi-trillions, bro. It's a lot. It's like royal level like holdings. Like they own parts of everything, which I'm sure you know.
Yeah, I mean they're in everything. Let's see, Bitslotto. Oh, that was the name of the exchange that got seized.
Yeah.
Bitslotto.
Okay.
It was a big joke when it happened.
Wow.
Let's see. Bitslotto's CEO arrested by Spanish police. Solana DeFi protocol. Everland shut down over liquidity issues. I I don't know how you feel about this, man. And I've said this since I saw Aptos was coming out. Even before the FTX collapse,
Hmm.
I think Solana has no use case. It's dead. To me,
Mm.
it might as well have a $0 market cap at this point. You
Yeah.
use Solana at all?
I have in the past. I mean, I stopped. I mean, I know they've had their share of problems, and it definitely doesn't look good all around. Like when you look at these different projects, what it comes down to is really just fundamental, right? Like when we're in the middle of a bear market, more than a bear market, entering a recession, some of these projects they're just going to end up dying. They're gonna slowly like evaporate versus getting eviscerated, right? So like Sol is one of those things that might just be in a slow bleed. And like if they're shutting down Everland because of liquidity issues, that's just yet another, problem for Solana. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
I mean, they were supposed to be the fastest, and they
They were
were.
supposed to be, yeah. I mean, a lot of people had big hopes.
There's not a lot of use case for them anymore. Now that Aptos is out, Aptos and Sui are the fastest, hands down.
Hmm.
And the use case for Solana was it did quick NFT transactions. That's it. I mean I can't think of another use case that people like to use it for other
Mm-hmm.
than quick NFT purchases. Did you ever use Solana as like a DeFi application or run a game on it or do anything like that?
No, I didn't really go that deep on it, man. I was, trading it
Mm-hmm.
and learning about it, but then it fell kind of off my radar after they were having so many different incidents. Like, if you remember, I think it was about a year ago, where they had the flash loan attack and lot of different issues. Like they've just been plagued with issue after issue after issue, and it just, I don't know. There's a lot going on there, and I think people. I think the idea of HODL, whoever invented that or thought about that, thought that was a good way to pitch the way you should play crypto. I think it's a very dangerous philosophy when you see, I mean, that your bag's bleeding out day after day after day after day. It eventually, it might hit zero. So you got to be really careful when you're holding your assets and managing your risk, that you're at least, have a plan in place, and you execute that plan accordingly, and you're not letting your emotions get to what's occurring. What's that saying? There's billionaires made in millionaires are made in bull markets, and billionaires are made in bear markets. I mean, there's a very specific reason for that quote, that sentiment.
It really is, and I know I'm amongst the few that believe this, but and we'll go into the charts in a little bit, and we'll back test some of my indicators, and maybe I'll make you a believer that we might have bottomed. But
I don't think so, man. You try.
we'll go over it though. So look at this. I didn't know about this today. The Euro stablecoin launched in Finland. Claims
Ooh.
claims to be the first approved in the EU. USDC issuer Circle Inc. previously released a euro-backed stablecoin that is registered in the United States. So I
Mm.
don't know what the peg for dollar to euro is right now. I think it's like $1.05.
No, I
Um,
think it's a little bit higher than that, I think. But yeah, yeah, somewhere around, it's like 111, 114, I think.
so I mean that's pretty cool. I'm a strong believer in
That's
other
huge.
other currencies having their own stable coins. So that's pretty massive for those that um, have purchased crypto in from other countries. It's you already know it's a pain switching from your currency, swapping into USDC to hold value, and then swapping into the asset you want to purchase, and then
Hmm.
swapping back,
Sure.
swapping from the asset you want to purchase into USDC, then back into your currency. See, they have one extra transaction that they have to do where we don't because USDC is our currency. They have to still exchange back into their native currency. So the fluctuations have a bigger impact on them nationally or globally.
I mean, that's really interesting, because USDC is regulated in the States, and so I'm wondering how thick the legal tape was for them to, get it approved there in Europe. So definitely interesting what's going on with USDC.
Yeah, I think there. Did you happen to catch the Fed meeting? I think they raised rates by like 0.25, yeah, 25 basis points, right?
Yeah. The market pumped a little bit because of that, and I mean, dude, I don't know if they're going to get the inflation under control. I think it's I don't know. I think if you look at what's going on in the world, the larger picture of the macroeconomics of what's occurring, and if you print, something like 40% of all, all circulating currency and fiat currency in the year 2020, I don't know if there's any level of inflation adjustment that you can do to bring that back. But I mean, maybe that's why they think we're going to be in a recession next year, or maybe it's kind of like, I wonder if it'll get how bad it's going to get, because it is going to hurt a lot of people, and it might be like a Great Depression version 2.
It could be. But I think this next article is a step in the right direction. And I don't think this has ever been done before. The U.S. Treasury adds BTC and ETH addresses tied to Russia to their sanctions groups. So the U.S. Treasury, I mean, the government's very slow to move, but at least that it has the wherewithal to say, oh, this is a Bitcoin address and this is an ETH address. We now can sanction these to that, other governments can't send money to these addresses. Now, that's difficult to control. I've talked to IRS special agents, and I know for sure 100% that the government has full transparency into all Bitcoin transactions and all Ethereum transactions. Now, when it comes to other chains, they're struggling. Now, EVM compatible chains, it's all the same tech that runs that scraper. But when you go to different chains in the Cosmos and Hederas and those different types of blockchains and hash graphs, they're having a more difficult time with blacklisting and sanctioning. So that's pretty big to see. Let's see what else. Retailer Pick and Play to accept Bitcoin across South Africa. Okay. Meta gets court approval for the Metaverse acquisition. Okay. MakerDAO launches $5 million defense fund.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. It's a little juicy.
Right.
I guess MakerDAO's like trying to cover their asses here.
I mean, it's something in the, to back themselves in case they get hacked. At least they got $5 million to pay for, mercenary. I don't know what the defense fund for
what I mean. You're launching a defense fund. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like this one. Federal judge bars SBF from contacting former employees. Thanks. Yeah, that's
awesome.
Good.
That's my favorite so far.
Yeah, no more doing interviews, SBF, and no more contacting Caroline for have her come over and tell her to bring her friend that had the 5 police officers with her. I don't know if you saw that article that came across.
Yeah. Oh man.
Let's see. We're almost done with the Cointelegraph articles. Voyager victim calls for trustee to seize control of the estate. Okay. Bitcoin ordinals creators look to fix after first time instance of shot. Oh yeah.
This is a really good one. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I don't want to use that word on the YouTubes because I am set to family friendly mode.
Got it.
But let's see what else. Let's keep going. And we're into February 1st news. So I think we're good with this. Last one. Crypto market jumps 40 billion as Fed Chair Powell hints at
disinflation.
Now, we'll touch on that, and I'll show you the downward action I'm expecting in the DXY. But let's go ahead and move on to the next articles here, and we'll cover a couple things that are non-crypto. We like to be open-minded here.
Yeah.
So, Echo extremists in Germany collect data on whether their comrades in arms want to commit crimes according to that list that appeared online. What did I just read?
I mean, I think what? Echo extremists in Germany collect data on whether their comrades in arms want to commit crimes. That's bizarre. According to a list that appeared online. So they're gathering metadata on these comrades in arms, they say.
I don't know. Germany's always all about collecting data and doing weird stuff. Let's just,
Okay, you gotta check this out. This is my favorite thing. No, keep going up. It's the explosion in the sky. Above Billings, Montana, there was something, a very large, a sizable explosion that occurred. And yesterday on the 3rd, there were a few different events. The Pentagon came forward and said that there was a Chinese spy balloon that was spotted above American airspace. And a air balloon. I mean, are we back in the 60s? Is this Roswell? Are we still doing the balloon talk? Where are we here?
Do you think it's actually Chinese?
Dude, I think an intelligence agency such as this, of this caliber, would never tell us what it actually is. So I highly doubt that it's a balloon. If it's a balloon, they put their own balloon up to as a cover story. But dude, no. And then, so as a side note to all, so there's not just one balloon. I think there were, correct me if I'm mistaken, I think there were 3 balloons that were spotted. One over Canada, I think, and one that was traveling. They were trying to track it through NORAD and over the Midwest, and then there was another one spotted in, I think, Latin America, south. So and then there's this explosion over Billings, Montana, and I'm just like, what? Did they shoot something down? What's going on here?
Jeez. I mean, yeah, I definitely saw that, and I think there's a few more articles covering that. I just want to say, Rebecca, thanks. Welcome to the stream. Enzo99, thanks for following, and thanks for the like. And David Pikazu, thanks for the like as well. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and scroll up and see if we can find some more information on what's going on. Just in, Pentagon, another Chinese spy balloon over Latin America. Another, they're going crazy. We've never seen balloons before, and they're just taking pictures. We don't have spy stuff. How did we create Google Earth? They act like this, and why the hell, a balloon? Don't they already have their own satellites that can zoom in 10,000 times?
Oh yeah.
What the hell is heck? What the heck is a balloon?
Dude, the Chinese do not need a spy balloon over Latin America. They don't. They just don't need that. And I just can't believe that is what they're going with. They I don't know if they're I don't know how much intelligence we have in the mass populace, but I don't think they think very highly of it. But
do you think this guy actually believes that they're actually spy balloons? Do you think his boss was like, "Hey, yeah, they're spy balloons"? He's like, "Oh man, spy balloons! Oh no!"
That's classified. No, dude. I mean, they're really trying to sell this idea of a balloon, And meanwhile, they've got people confused. That some people think it's definitely not a balloon, and other people think, okay, yeah, it might be a balloon, it's whatever. And so it's kind of mixed, the response. But what it is creating is a sizable level of confusion about what exactly is going on our planet right now. And some people have gone as far as saying, oh, okay, maybe the aliens, maybe this is round 2 of the weather balloon saga.
Jeez. I mean, why don't we shoot it down? Why have we not, like, we don't have Chinese warplanes coming and flying over the US. Why would we allow a Chinese spy satellite? I think,
Yeah.
they're essentially trying to think of, like, what is, like, the least threatening thing that we can
Yeah.
have and say it's from China?
Yeah.
Well, you think the Americans would be afraid of a balloon? Can
Right.
we just scared them with this 2 years of whatever, and now we're gonna get them hooked on this balloon story.
It's
Yeah.
a very, very interesting distraction, and the coverage has been well played. Like I think it's interesting the amount of confusion that they've managed to create, and so I would be on your toes for whatever's coming next. Like it,
Yeah, I agree. All right, Biden. He's using the podium as a stabilization device here. Biden, the inflation was already here when I got here, man. Verbatim. You can't make this up. Inflation was at 1.4% when Biden took office in January 2021.
Dude, there's a phenomenal metric for any level of economic, like how to measure like if the economy is doing well or not. And that metric is what is the cost of eggs and what is the cost of bread at your local grocery store. And have you seen the cost of eggs? Do you know what's going on with eggs right now? I mean, there's a lot, and it's like this obscene amount of money for a carton of eggs right now. Some
Yeah.
people don't even have access to them at all. And I don't bread is right up there too. Like the bread that I buy is like $8.
Yeah. It's
So
crazy. I made myself a $20 sandwich today.
yeah,
It's nuts. I mean, just comparison, a bag of rice at Costco last year was like $10. This year, $22. 100% inflation. Like, it's crazy. And we'll get more into the egg story here in a little bit. I don't want to, I have some a breakdown of all the egg silos and their mishaps over the last few years, and want to share that. And I think maybe you've seen what I'm talking about.
hmm
Okay. Let's see. So this is interesting. Justin Blinken
Lincoln.
cancels trip to Beijing over the spy balloon. I don't know if Blinken is like a huge name. I've never heard of Blinken before.
He's a diplomat and a politician. His name is Anthony Blinken or Anton. I don't know what it is, and I don't know. He did a bunch of stuff. He's had a long history, I think, with the Biden administration, and so he is very, very high level State Department official. So whatever. I've like it, if they're trying to say like, oh, there's no big deal, it's just a spy balloon, but then they're dropping talks with Beijing and China and canceling trips,
And
and
that's
so
interesting. Like they're trying to put us on the offensive over a balloon to, maybe change our stance on Asia.
but Damon, if you saw like a balloon in the sky, would you care?
No? I don't know.
So why even bring this story forward is my question. Like, why even talk about this? If it's just a balloon, it's not a big deal, then why alert the public? Why bring it all out? So there is going to be a second chapter to this story,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not over yet. And I would just be very, very, very hands-on and prepared as far as everything you're doing in your personal lives. Like you should be stocking extra food. I really believe in prepping and getting ready for whatever is coming next. So I'm not saying we're going to that point just yet. I'm just saying, like, as this climbs, like, this might be the first indicator of something much larger that's happening. And yeah.
We're also, though, and it's getting to that point in the year where it starts to get pretty political again, where a lot of political posturing happens, where elections are starting to take place, and
No, the elections just ended, bro. The 2022 elections just are
we're
over.
we're in 2023 now. You know what happens next year?
Yeah.
Well, it's new presidential candidate.
No, I know, but dude, so I think right now I actually disagree. I'm taking the opposite position that the elections are over now, and now is when they can resume different levels of operations.
Maybe I assume that the political campaign begins a year out before any major elections. And I think this has a lot of posturing on how this administration is protecting the U.S. and what they're going to be doing, and they need a lot of ground to cover to save some face, and they try to think of the least threatening way to show that they are positively helping Americans, and they launched 4 balloons, and they try to show that they have your back. So, we'll find out. Only time will tell. I don't want to get too caught up on balloons here.
Yeah.
Just in, Chinese Foreign Ministry claims the balloons traveling through U.S. airspace is a civilian airship
It
from
just
China.
keeps changing, like every few minutes, like just the story just keeps evolving into something different. But okay, it's just a balloon.
Yeah, it's just a balloon.
Sometimes
All
a
right.
balloon is just a balloon.
Just in, U.S. employers add 517,000 jobs in January, far more than expected, as the unemployment rate fell to a 54-year low of 3.4%, according to government statistics. Is this in the U.S.? What?
Yeah. But meanwhile, all these major tech companies are laying a bunch of people off. So what are they talking about here?
Yeah,
that is beyond me. That's the opposite of what's going on.
I love doing our stories this way, because you can see how the rest of the populace really feels about this article.
Yeah.
Like, we have 2,000 clown faces on this article. There's 343 people scratching their head saying, how does this make sense? 49 people decided they used the vomit face, and 2 people are crying about this.
Yeah. They're crying about it.
Overall positivity out of this, I would say 105 smiles, 37 hearts, and 10 fires. I mean, out of 3,000, total interactions, I mean, that's 1% thinks that's positive. So we'll see what happens with that. I try not to say this name.
Yeah, let's not say that name at all.
But you can read that article for yourselves there if that's something that you're interested in. Here's some more things about balloons. Yeah. A lot of balloons. Here's another balloon. Just
are we able to play that video by chance or no?
let me click on it.
I'm not sure if it's playable. It's okay. We don't have to do that. And plus we covered balloons in depth, so let's just move on. Let's go.
All right.
Sorry, it's your show, man.
Oh, you're good. You're good. And then of course we had this article that dropped the other day. I mean, if you're on Twitter, which I hope you are, you had a chance to see this video on Twitter. Was really, really interesting, and hopefully I have a chance to catch up on this story. Let's see. We got some more about balloons. The Pentagon's really taking these balloons seriously. For somehow they're still floating around. So let's see. Something new coming. Keep your eye out for our YouTube, Rumble. Oh, and Rumble channels.
Yeah, it's just a promo for Disclose. We don't have to cover that.
Okay. I think he's starting to wear his hair like the previous guy.
How is he still standing? I'm just surprised that he's like able to speak.
Yeah, he's I don't know, more than half the women in my administration
are women.
What did I just read?
And then during the Supreme Court hearing, they couldn't define it. They weren't willing to define what that means, and so.
What did I just read? That's crazy. All right.
Town Central, the circus is in town.
Yeah. All right. House Republicans have passed a resolution to remove Rep.
Ooh, let's not say that either. Yeah, interesting.
Oh, that's a big story right now. I haven't seen that.
That's an interesting move. Yeah.
Wow, I see. So, I mean, you guys can see on live right now. There's certain things that we can't go over, but you can read them and dig in yourselves. You get the news only here, and you get it here first before you'll find it on any other mainstream outlets before it's really watered down. Let's see.
Cover that.
Threatened by German tanks. Okay, yeah, we had that. ECB raises key interest rate by 0.5 to 3%. I mean, that's a pretty big raise. Are they going to raise it by 0.5 or 3%?
I mean, dude, the European Central Bank is it's the central bank of the European Union, and it's responsible for setting the monetary policy for the Eurozone. So what we're seeing is this sort of interplay between these different nations that and they're just trying to prop up their own currency because they saw what happened when the DXY was pumping hard, and we almost saw parity between the euro, the pound, and the US dollar. And so I think it's not just posturing what they're doing. I think they're just making sure they're making sure that their own currency doesn't devalue, like it did before. When we look at the charts, we'll see that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, especially now that they just launched their own stablecoin too. And then I guess he just claimed this as his in a previous article. So I mean, you can.
What a loathsome human being.
Yeah.
Won't say more than that. But
well, yeah, claimed everything we thought was true is actually true.
It's true.
He said it with his own face hole, and everything is all true. Right. Let's see. Russia would be plunged into a cryogenic freeze if Putin uses weapons, and Boris Johnson tells the Atlantic Council. All right. Well, yep. Just in OPEC Plus
OPEC?
OPEC Plus to
Yep.
keep oil output output
Oh, output levels unchanged.
output output levels unchanged. Oh, that's good. And let's see. And we're back into yesterday's news. And if you want to catch yesterday's news, check out yesterday's stream. That's where you can find it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next set of articles. Let's see. Pull up.
Check this out. So 2022 was the biggest year ever for crypto hacking, with 3.8 billion stolen from cryptocurrency businesses. And DeFi protocols as victims accounted for. Can you see it? Do you know?
Yeah, I can see it. I was just trying to make it even for our viewers. It wasn't sharing.
Gotcha. Wow.
So yeah, the 2020. I mean, just as we're starting to explore more and more into this tech space, it's you get a lot of new people in. I mean, that just shows you how many new people we entered into the space, making a lot of the same mistakes that some of the veterans have made, and some of the same tech exploits have happened. But there's also some new stuff happening too, and I mean, like we said at the beginning, just the simple, like, this is the biggest thing that irks me to no end. The fact that Google says, no, you can't advertise for crypto. No, we're not doing any crypto ads. None of that. And then they say, a year later, 2 years later, you can do crypto ads. And the first thing they do now is they put fraudulent crypto ads without doing any background check or any types of checks on the companies up at the very top of their web pages. And it will say Voyager, and then there'll be an ad next to it. And then Voyager will be spelt with 2 Y's or some weird thing. And they'll take you to some fraudulent website and be like, hey, make sure you sign into Voyager with your MetaMask. And you're like, oh, well, that must be a new feature. Let me sign in real quick. And 2 seconds later, it's gone. Or the best one is when they're like, hey, sign in with your MetaMask. And then it's like, hey, something went wrong. Just enter your seed phrase to reactivate your wallet. And you're like, oh, that's never happened before, but that makes sense. I can just reactivate my wallet. And you enter your seed phrase, and then 2 seconds later, all your money's gone. It's simple things like that where it just takes a couple quick screen flips where it's like, here's the homepage, log in. You click log in, your wallet's failed, please enter seed phrase. Then you enter your seed phrase, and then everyone has all your money. So just interact with websites you trust. The best virus protection and cyberware protection is just not clicking on things that you don't know what they are. There was a movie, it's like, this is my safety, when the guy held up his finger. Same with your keyboard warriors. This is your safety. When you decide to click on something, that's, you're in charge. So I can't say that enough here.
It was tricky, man. We had a major onboarding, during the bull run of new people that were getting into crypto, and then some of those same people were looking at the market starting to go down. They're like, okay, maybe this is a good price, and so these newer people are getting in, but they're not studying their protocol and understanding that you are in control of your assets, and there's it's not regulated, and it's definitely not FDIC insured. And so when something happens with a protocol, and whether it's your mistake or someone else's mistake, I mean, we saw this with the FTX collapse and Luna and Celsius, and Celsius, people regarded Celsius as a trusted place to put their money, and then you've lost your life savings, and you have to restart. I mean, is a devastating, absolutely crippling feeling.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I got hemmed up pretty bad in Celsius.
Mm.
But I looked at Celsius and I was like, oh, I didn't mean to click on that. Something's happening with my. Let me get back to that. All right. I think you're. Are you clicking on something that's moving the?
No, I'm not. I don't
Oh,
have control of your computer.
okay.
I would click on
So,
whatever I wanted to.
something kept moving. But I. So with Celsius, like I I use Celsius because I have a little girl and I wanted to save money and have her have generational income. There's three types of income. There's earned income, passive income, and generational income. And the goal, of course, is for everyone to create generational income for their children to pass it on. And that's another reason people like Bitcoin is because it is a great way to pass on generational wealth. If you buy, even gold inflates at a rate of 3% per year,
Right.
meaning that over the course of 33 years, the total amount of gold in supply doubles in circulation. So, I got into Celsius and I was like, wow, this is a great way to earn passive income. If I put all my money in here, then my daughter can get, a few $1,000s a month and she'll be taken care of and,
Mm.
life won't be so hard on her and
Yeah.
she can figure it out. Well, thankfully, I didn't do that when, with all my money. I did it with some of my money and I imagine the people that were not as young as me or maybe not as experienced in crypto as me, might have saw that as a safe avenue and put their entire life savings in there that, hope to hand off to their children and
Mhm.
give them passive income and lost everything
It's
in
tragic.
all of their life force that they've spent. That's what your life force is for people now. You spend all your life force gaining this financial, financial equity. You have this, spending power. Essentially, your life force gives you spending power. You work, you get spending power, and then you can spend that spending power on what you like. It's transfer of energy.
Yeah.
Now, there is the human experience. Thanks for the comment. Appreciate you. And there is an ability for the older generation to lose out on a lot of that economic freedom by these hacks and other things that have happened in crypto, and it's just
Yeah.
I hate to see it. Let's
Yeah.
not get too caught up on the hacks here. Let's keep moving along. Russia's Cyberbank expects to launch an Ethereum-based DeFi platform in May. That's
Okay.
pretty
What do you think
cool.
about this?
Uh, well,
Russia.
I think Ethereum's the play, man. I think
Yeah.
there was some other articles outside of Russia that were also saying they were launching CBDCs on Ethereum as
Mm.
well,
Wow.
and other central bank digital plays. We didn't have any of this news in 2017, 2018, and we hit
Sure.
20K.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Now
remember
we
that.
have all of this. In my opinion, 20K is the bottom.
Okay.
No, just saying. Just saying.
Well.
We'll go over the charts. We'll go over the charts. Not yet though. All right. Binance tells Indian crypto exchange Y0X to withdraw consumer assets held in its wallets. Binance tells Indian crypto exchange Y0X to withdraw customer assets held in its wallets. Binance.
It seems like they're just protecting themselves.
Okay.
Um, or maybe there's something that they found out about that crypto exchange that they weren't okay with, and they're just like, okay, you need
Hmm.
to withdraw your assets.
Let's see. Silvergate faces DOJ probe over FTX and Alameda dealings.
Fraud probe.
Fraud probe. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Fraud.
Juicy. I mean, there's all these stable coins and all this stuff launching, all these cryptocurrencies, these countries starting their own, version of the central bank digital currency, and it's going to be an interesting time.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. There is.
Check that out. I mean, the Bitcoin monthly returns a very interesting metric for where we are at, and how we set the tone for the year. And I mean, this does. I mean, I've been trading for 12 years now, and this does tend to line up. So we started 2023 with a bang. I think we were expecting that a little bit, but I don't think we've seen the bottom yet. So
yeah, we'll go over that. We'll go over that. EU Euro stablecoin launched in Finland. Wait, Euro stablecoin launched in Finland claims to be the first approved in the EU.
Look at that.
What? It's already out. We just read another article saying they were just launching. Well, it's already out in Finland.
Yeah.
Kraken shuts down Abu Dhabi office. Crypto exchanges keep on shrinking. What is your opinion on shrinking?
They want to control the amount of exchanges that are available for people to transact with. And
I agree.
Eventually, the regulations that are going to come down on crypto trading and just holding crypto are going to require KYC on a level that we haven't seen before. And so to interact, I think, with an exchange and trade, it's going to be microscope. That's why the B administration they pushed for the IRS to monitor transactions over $600, and why they hired 80,000 plus more IRS agents. So I think the regulations that are coming are going to be extreme. It's going to make it extremely hard to do what we're, and that's why DeFi is the way to go, man. Like I don't trust central exchanges anymore, and I just I don't see it sustainable. What some of these exchanges are doing, and that's why they're going away. They're just they're failing.
Yeah, I think they're failing for a reason. They're failing because there's a lot of underhanded things going around. There's just, with decentralized finance, and just like we talked about, that there's 3 different types of income, earned income, passive income, and generational income. There's also 3 types of institutions. There we have your traditional, your TradFi, then you have your CeFi, then you have your DeFi. And it's really, really difficult to control one of those. The other 2, TradFi, super easy to control, really bends at the whim of any government request. Then you have your CeFi, which is your centralized finance, which is like your PayPals or your Robinhoods. I would consider that like your shadow banking institutions. Like they follow by they follow the rules, but they're not essentially depositories.
Sure.
They're money intermediaries. And they're having to formulate new sets of rules for these CeFi individuals like Coinbase and PayPal. And they're really trying to lock them down with these $600, you must report everything, and we're going to be on top of every dollar you transact in. Now, sure. I've worked in the back end at government offices, and there's just thousands and thousands and hundreds and millions of thousands, whatever is a huge number to you, worth of PDF files and paperwork of just other individuals' transactions that they want you to go through line by line and say, oh yeah, this looks off. And then you send it to the next person, and then they concur that something looks off. and there's not the manpower nor the tech to scrape through all these government documents and transactional records of individuals, and that's why they needed the 87,000 IRS agents. But also, why don't they like spend the time trying to track down like the trillions of dollars they lost? That would make more sense to me. But who am I? And let's see. Enzo, thanks for the follow. Cat Dog, David, Ismail, 3437, thanks for the like. All Set, thanks for the like. Butch Lee, thanks for the like. Rebecca, welcome back. KCB, thanks for the like. Alex, me, thanks for the like. And Ephros, thanks for the like. And we're live on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Theta TV, and Twitter right now. As you know, we're no longer live on TikTok because it's the regime over there. Let's go ahead and move on. This is what we talked about earlier, where it talks about the year over year data having to do with Bitcoin. And this is the third highest return in the month of January.
Right.
In the last 12 years. Do you see any pattern?
Yeah.
What pattern do you see?
I mean, it's actually hard to see the screen.
Oh.
So for me, but I would say, I don't know. I don't want to speak too soon. Let's do it with the charts when we go to the charts.
Gotcha. So for those that can see, and we're jerry rigging some screen share tech. Where Soren's joining us from across the world, and we just wanted to make sure that he was included today, and we'll have some better inputs for him next time. But let's take a look at the three highest returns for the month of January. Every time there's been a return over anytime there's been a return over 30%, the following month has always been a green month. So that's something that I can pick off right off the bat. And let's say following that, anytime it's let's see, when was the last bull run? So we had the bull run in 2020. So the other bull run was in before that was 2018, right?
Oh God.
No, 2020.
Yeah,
2016.
I think you're right, but I don't know. Let's roll with that.
I'm trying to see if there's any patterns in this chart here.
I mean, usually March is a negative month, just because. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, you can see that.
And I mean to say that there's a lot going on in the macroeconomics and geopolitics of the world right now. So, it's hard to say, and there is a bit of just because it's been this way, just because there's a pattern that we're looking at, doesn't mean that that pattern is going to hold. That's a gambler's fallacy. And so like, these are just numbers, and you really do have to look at the bigger picture of what's going on in the world right now, and what we've seen in the last 3 years, we've never seen before.
Yeah, and I think that's really hard to pull a pattern off that as well. I'm looking at the 2019 charts and 2020 charts and 21. it was historically different. It had like a 95% correlation for every dollar that we printed into the economy went into the markets. So it's different to try to find patterns on here. I'm sure if we stared at this for a bit, we could probably find some patterns. And we'll get you the charts next time so you can come along, join us for the ride and see everything more clearly and zoom in. Let's go ahead and move on to the next articles here. Member of Parliament launches a bid to adopt Tron as legal. What? Huh.
That is awesome.
What? Member of St. Martin's Parliament launches bid to adopt Tron as legal tender. Holy crap. Okay. That's pretty crazy. I don't know where anytime I see the word saint, I just assume it's a super small island somewhere. I don't know. Do you know where that place is?
Yeah, it's oh God, St. Martin's. Isn't that where that one guy had his one thing?
With the house and the boats and flying people back and forth?
Yep.
I don't know, but it would explain where all the shady stuff is happening.
That's definitely one of those offshore places that is doing some interesting stuff. So
interesting. All right. EU eases regulatory burden for crypto smart contracts in draft legislation. I mean, we're seeing a lot of positive news having to do with EU.
It seems like the EU is more willing to adopt and almost respect crypto as this. They're phasing crypto in as quickly as they can.
Yeah, I think they had some crazy inflation rate as well. They're not doing so hot as a global currency overall, and I think they're trying to find any escape. And I don't blame them at all. Leverage ratio has declined from open interest equal to 40% of spot exchange balances to just 25% over the past 75 days.
Help me understand that. So the leverage ratio has declined from open interest equal to 40% of spot exchange balances.
Let me blow this up. Let me see. Let me take a look at this.
So is this saying that the leverage ratio it's going down, so less people are leveraging and more people are holding spot, if I understand this correctly?
Let me just verify. I'm just taking a look at the article here. And futures open interest 40% exchange volume. Okay, perfect. So in October 22, 40% of all exchange balance volume was futures and open interest contracts, meaning that a lot of 40% of the market was leveraged. We have now dropped to a level of, according to this chart, of 25% of the total market is now leverage ratio. So we've dropped by a pretty large portion, about 15% from open interest contracts, and that means that portion is now holding spot. So slowly shifting, and that's another
fascinating.
Another feather in my cap for potentially bullish sentiment. So let's keep on trucking. Let's see. India's retail giant to accept the CBDC at all stores. Oh, that was pretty cool. Let me scroll up here. Actually, I forget to scroll up sometimes. All right. So India's retail giant Reliance to accept the CBDC at all of its stores.
Mm-hmm.
That's massive.
Yeah,
that's massive. That's like saying Walmart's. It's like Walmart coming out and going, "Yeah, sure, we'll just take all the USDC. And if you guys want to spend USDC, go ahead, bring it in. We'll take it." Like, can we get a pump off that? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. What's this? Rebounded strongly. Adjusted on-chain volume for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Adjusted on-chain volume. Okay. So it's bouncing back. I mean, that's good. It looks like December 22 was much lower than January 23. We have a lot more volume in January 23. So that's a good indicator. I like that. The Fed hike, FOC meeting, EIB launches first digital sterling bond. It's pretty big. Bankrupt crypto firm Celsius says some users can withdraw assets. All right. Were you on that list?
Sorry, I got to catch up to what you're saying.
Were you on the list of Celsius representatives that could withdraw assets?
No, I was not. Unfortunately, not.
I haven't seen the list. Where does one get the list from?
I didn't know there was a list. I guess there is one.
There is.
I mean,
There is. Let me take a look and see. Let's go ahead and move on to over here. Just in, Australia releases plans to regulate Bitcoin and crypto in the country.
Yep.
So that happened. Australia today.
Such a fun place to be.
Really, they did a fantastic job just lining everyone up and making sure that they were all in line and followed the rules, and they just cordoned everyone into big tents to make sure that they were safe, and really just everyone followed the government rule just to a T. Fantastic. We really love to see just everyone obeying. It's really what we push for.
That's right.
Just obey, So Justin, Elon says, starting today, Twitter will share ad revenue with the creators.
About time.
Are you on Twitter right now?
Oh, I can't. It's classified.
We'll hope to see you on there, and I know you'll be, potentially doing some lives on there, hopefully soon, and we'll help get your ad revenue up.
That would be great.
Just in, Google acquires a $3 million stake in artificial intelligence startup, Anthropic.
Dude, ChatGPT really got people interested in AI. Like, it really woke people up to the massive role that AI can play in our everyday.
Did you sign up for the premium
of ChatGPT?
Yeah,
I definitely have an account. I'm not sure. I don't use it enough to sign up for the premium, but yeah, I've definitely played with it a little bit when I have time, and wow, I mean, it's like Google on steroids,
Have you realized the nerf from the very beginning to now, the difference?
Yeah, I think so. Do you mean like the little subtle changes that they've made from when they launched it to now?
Correct.
Yes, I have noticed that.
It's I don't want to say it sucks, but it I personally can tell a huge difference. Like from the original, like, hey, write me some Pike script to help me understand this language model and what would
it's there.
Yeah, what would this script look like? And they're like, bam, it would look like this. And now it's like, sorry, I'm just a language model, and you should ask your financial consultant about, how to extend your car's warranty, And so yesterday I was accepted to their premium.
Oh, okay.
So I gone on the wait list a while back when they first launched, filled out, their questionnaire, and was part of their beta test group. And it's $20 a month.
Okay.
$20 a month for their premium. And I'm like, all right, hey, this is going to be fantastic. It's going to do everything the old ChatGPT did. It's going to be worth $20 a month. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It still sucks. And I really hope that someone out there doing these OpenAI things aren't afraid of hurting financial consultants' feelings and allowing the AI to do recommendations on scripts, to talk about stocks, to talk about statistical models. Mm-hmm. Like that's just it's not making up facts. Like if it's pulling statistical data from charts and you're like, hey, tell me about what month had the highest stock growth for Apple for the past 15 years.
Yes.
And it's not, and then instead of it being like
what we want, and instead it's like, we don't want your language model. We don't need your language model, dude. Like we just want the information like put in front of us.
Absolutely. And they're trying to censor it, and it's, we're becoming Australia. All right, so let's go ahead and move along here. President Biden says President Biden says he takes no blame for inflation, and it was there when he arrived in office.
I think we covered this.
We did. Sometimes some of these news things, they repeat themselves. But as you see here, we have 481 clown faces, 168 laughy faces, 70 pieces of poo, 20 fires, 12 hearts, and 1 cry. No, that's a pretty good metric for me.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the end of our news session. Let me just make sure that there's no other news here.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's definitely a lot of interesting stuff happening in crypto right now. It's a very, I think it's going to be a very defining time for how crypto is used, and just like I said, geopolitically, we've never been where we are right now. Like, I mean, we have, just not within the crypto sense of things, So to see how crypto holds up, and definitely some of these projects, kind of like the example that we had earlier with Sol, where they're just kind of bleeding out, and it's like problem after problem. When your fundamental isn't there during a bear market, neither is your price.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And this is some of these stories we actually didn't cover today, and this one's going to be hard for you guys to see at home, just because it's going to be so small. I'm going to do my best at trying to make it readable here in the future, but I'll quickly go over these. MicroStrategy posted a $250 million net loss in Q4. Saw stock rise after the firm bought 800 8,800 BTC in the 2022 crash.
Mm-hmm.
eBay is hiring multiple Web3 roles following NFT marketplace acquisition. Silvergate probed by the U.S. prosecutors over FTX and Alameda accounts. Binance re-entered South Korea by buying a majority stake in the crypto exchange GoPax. MasterCard's NFT lead exited by selling a registered letter as an NFT. That's funny. So you imagine, like, if you were the NFT lead of MasterCard and you're like, hey, I resign, but here's my letter as an NFT.
Yeah.
Wazir X told to move funds out of Binance. Optimism planning major network upgrade called Bedrock in March. I'm a big Optimism fan. I think it's still super low.
I like that as well.
It's fantastic. I mean, I would, financial advice, I would get in. Alameda crypto wallet received $13 million from Bitfinex and unknown sources. Core Scientific cut a deal with lender NYDIG to extinguish $38.6 million in debt. Indonesia delayed crypto stock exchange launch until June, and Orion Protocol lost $3 million in trading pool exploit. That's all sad news.
Wait. Can you please go back?
Yeah.
There was one at the very bottom that I was waiting for you to read. No, just keep going. Go up a little bit, please. There's Celsius. Look at this. Look at number 17.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Celsius was insolvent since the inception. The court-appointed examiner reveals. Wow.
Okay, let's scroll up for our viewers there. There we go. So Celsius, I didn't even see that on the rundown. That's amazing. Let me see. Is that not covered? That wasn't covered on that rundown here. Let me see this. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's go over that rundown real quick.
Wow. Celsius. So Celsius never had the money. Like what? So what? Oh my God.
I've met Alex Mashinsky many times, and we've shaken hands. We've conversed. I've even pitched him on holding different assets within Celsius. And for those that know me, I'm pretty deep within the crypto community. I actually believe I was the first individual to pitch Alex on Terra Luna.
Wow. I mean, and they were insolvent the whole time. What?
They were insolvent the whole time. That's crazy. Yeah, we back in the day when Terra Luna first launched, I was one of the first users, and I started using Anchor Protocol, and I was already using Celsius, and I was like, hey Alex, like I get you're offering stable yields at 6% or 4%. Celsius is over here doing it for 20%. What are you doing, man? And I approached him on Twitter Spaces. He used to have Twitter Spaces every day, and he looked into it, and we had a conversation the next Twitter Spaces about it. And he said, well, they're not a real stable coin, and he gave a lot of good reasons why he shouldn't hold Terra Luna and UST. And then I think as he realized they were still insolvent, he needed more ways to generate yield, and he was just constantly trying to climb up a steep mountain of debt. So it's crazy.
And dude, I can't imagine how many lives he ruined, like, and that he was doing it right from the start, right from the get-go. I mean, dude, like, wow. I hope he gets what he deserves.
I like this rundown. Look at this. India reveals IMF is working with G20 for crypto regulations. 86% of Tether was
What? 86% of Tether was concentrated among 4 people until 2018.
That's crazy.
Dude.
That's crazy. MetaMask rolls out updates to privacy setting for a new and existing users. Okay. I mean, I'll have to check that out. BlackRock ETF tokenized on Uniswap?
Oh.
What?
Wow. And they're going DeFi with it. That's the way.
I mean, it really is.
BlackRock, yeah, they know what they're doing.
It really, I mean, where were these news? How is this not being covered anywhere else?
Glad I saw it.
BlackRock ETF tokenized on Uniswap. That's nuts. Indonesia delayed crypto stock exchange launch until June. Core Scientific cut a deal with NYDIG. Optimism planning major network upgrade. Binance, Silvergate, eBay. All right, keep scrolling. Let's see if there's anything else up here. And then this was just yesterday's. Let's see, yesterday's. Meta, BNB, Tether denied, Celsius. 2 billion Celsius subscribed core. FTX held bid deadlines. Target. All right, cool. That's all good. And I think that's gonna be the end of our news session here. Let me see if there's anything here. This is the Sui ecosystem. I think that's going to do really well when it launches. Let's see. This is weekly commits. So on GitHub, this is the active developers. This is the weekly file commits for upgrades and work that need to be done for on-chain. So Ethereum had almost 13,000 weekly updates done by developers with 2,200 active developers. Then next in line was Polkadot, Cosmos. Solana still has some active developers on it.
Yeah.
Bitcoin. I mean, Solana and Bitcoin have about the same.
Sorry to interrupt. This is one of the most important charts you'll look at, because by looking at this, you can see how active these protocols are and what's going on. It tells you a lot of information just by looking at how much activity the GitHub has for these protocols. So that's interesting about Solana.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too. I mean, Aptos was. I'm surprised how low Aptos is, honestly. That Sui is higher than Aptos.
Pay attention, folks. That's a big chart.
That's interesting. That's Sui. All right, you ready to go to the charts?
Yeah, man.
All right, this is your favorite part.
Yep. Where are we going first?
Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin.
All right.
And if you want to pull up Bitcoin on your end, so we can go over everything together. Let's go ahead and let's start a larger time frame and move out.
Okay, what time frame are we going to?
You want to go monthly or weekly?
Let's go weekly first, and then let's just start at monthly. Let's do that way.
All right. All right. So I don't know. Can you see this thing where it says buy on my screen?
No, I cannot.
All right.
But it's okay. I've got my chart pulled up.
Oh, here. I gotta switch your screen view here. So
No, that's okay. I've got my own chart. I've got my chart. Like I can see what you're doing. It's okay.
I hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So where it says buy for me, historically, has been been a pretty good indicator. Now, I had one misfire where it kicked on a buy right at the top of our channel, at the top of our bull run. But overall, my buys are pretty spot on. I got a buy back here. I had a buy right at the top of the bull run, and I'm getting another buy indicator right here on the monthly time frame. We have our volume index right here on the right hand side with massive volume building up down here as some positive levels of support. And I don't believe that we'll ever reach all the way down here to 7,000. But
Yeah.
we have still massive volume support right here at current levels of about 23,000. So overall, as we move down into the shorter time frames, I want to show you what the momentum looks like. And with what we're looking at on not only the Bitcoin charts and how they correlate to the dollar index,
Mm-hmm.
you'll notice that the dollar index historically is going to be moving down,
Mm-hmm.
and projected to move down more and more over the course of the year,
Yeah.
as this is going to start moving upward. So I'm going to change over to the weekly here. And I know I have a lot of indicators pulled up, and it might be difficult for you to see at home. Let me pull up something here for the viewers at home. John, thanks for the like, and Crypto Bounce One, thanks for the like. Charles Azalga, thanks for the like. X946, he says woke. Thanks for the woke.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. And Dry Saliva, thanks for the like as well. Let's go back to the charts here. What would you like me to look at? Anything that you want?
Okay. So look, I'll agree with you. I'll agree that we will get a little bit of a respite where it's going to bounce a little bit further. And but it's so tricky, and that one indicator that you talked about first, your buy indicator. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's probably a great indicator. But at the most important point where there was a buy signal, the algorithm changed and the market dropped. And so it just says, like, there's no one perfect indicator ever, but at the same time, you have to be careful and then look at everything that's going on macroeconomically and geopolitically, and then make your analysis and make your move. I mean, we are supported here, and it does seem like we did, bottom in it a little bit, but I don't think this is over. I don't think that we're at the bottom bottom. I don't think see that right now. I mean, I just don't. I mean, but I mean, we just went through all this news, and there is really big news where if we saw the same news in 2018, we would be like, "Oh my God," like, what's going on, right? But at the same time that there's this big news, the market makers are doing whatever they want, and I think the market makers, they want you to think that it's going to keep going up and we've bottomed. That's what the chart wants you to think. And you need to look at the chart as a type of story, okay? Like you're watching a movie, and like, where's the plot? Where is the plot twist? And like, what are my characters? And through your time frames, like, understand what the candles are telling you, what they're sharing with you. And you know, it's tough, man. It's tough because these balloons have taken my concentration away from all I can think about is balloons.
Let me show you a balloon that's going to take you to the moon.
Let's go.
Right. So, when we looked at the historic monthly, and what I liked about that is not often do I get a buy signal, but I just printed a buy signal on my monthly. And let's just go look back at this real quick and try to see if I can invalidate the false buy that they had before. All right, so if we can get past, and we'll come back and check this, but where we had this false buy indicator at the top of the market on my monthly chart, we only got one green candle. All right. If we can follow with one more positive month and have another green candle, I'm saying I'm 100% in. I'm 100% dedicated if we can print one more green candle on the monthly. I'm liking that my hidden volume indicator down here is slowly moving up. I mean, this is a great trend for me. I'm liking that a lot of these candles are shrinking, and they're shrinking lower than the scholastics right here. And when that happens, it will quickly bounce up into the green. And I'm turning bullish again, man. And then you look down here at my green dots. I know, you guys don't know what all these indicators mean. If you wanna learn about the indicators, I'll set you guys up and we'll get squared away. But if you look back at my indicators too, all right, I had a green dot down here, January 1st, 23. Last time I had a green dot at the bottom was the April
I see what you. Yeah, I see it.
Of 2019. That was the last time I had a green dot.
So just a shout out to Market Cipher, which is the indicator that we're looking at, and okay, I'm gonna agree with you on that. And because the longer time frame that you're at, the less error that Market Cipher is going to give you, basically. Like the more solid it is. And there's only one other time that's actually printed that green dot.
Yeah.
In 2019, I guess, from this screen that we're looking at.
Yep. And it really runs in 2019. I mean, runs hard.
That was the basis. 2019. If you bought in 2019, you were at the floor, and then you rode the bull market if you bought there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a very valuable couple, 3, 4 different things that I can see your perspective now.
Let's now that we have the understanding of the larger time frame, let's backstep it and start to shorten the time frames to see if it adds up. So let's go to the weekly now. So the weekly we have. Do we have a little bit of green entering? So let's open up our momentum waves. What I like to see is we have this big green dot here at the bottom, which in most indices, last time we got a big green dot at the bottom was Monday the 17th of 2018. Was the last time we got a large green dot at the bottom. Let's see what that correlates to on the chart. 2018. 2018. Looks like it would have been a pretty solid time to buy there. You see what I'm saying? You see that big green dot there at the bottom?
Yeah, man.
So we just had another one. It's playing out for a little bit. It's stretching out a little bit longer than I'd like it to, but that big green dot printed when we had a little bit of a red money wave. Our red money wave is starting to shrink. It's going up drastically to the upside right now. I mean, massive move, starting to move up to the upside on the red money wave. And just to try to match, what happened back in 2018.
But D, I mean, look, man, these algorithms are extremely good at understanding these different indicators, and I know everything is pointing that it's going to go higher, but the market can be extremely irrational. All the signs can be there, just like that the invalid buy indicator that you had at the top of the bull run, the last bull run. So I'm not 100% anything ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to stay as skeptical as I can, and then use that to prove okay, what we're doing now is going back through the lower time frames, but at the same time, these algorithms and these market makers, they understand that they're looking for you to buy into that, and they control the price in a range, and they keep it there. And they're extremely good at understanding the psychology of a trader and where they're at. And you look, man, I have to stay skeptical just based on what's going on. The balloons.
Yeah, no, the balloons are a big deal, man. Gotta stay up with the balloons. This one is actually a bearish one. So this little red, you can't see it here. This is my hidden momentum indicator. If you want this is $200 a month, just for this little thing. But it predicts when we're gonna have movements to the upside and downside. So like if you see red right here, I had a little red indicator, and it pushed massive down shortly after that. So
we're getting another red on that $200 indicator.
Yes, we're getting another little red coming up.
Wow.
Which follows what's happening here. It's hard for me to see where the shaded area is, but it looks like we're way outside our volume, or that we have way more volume in here than actual momentum to carry us forward. So I'm expecting this to come down. I don't know if you can see on my end how there's this shaded area up top.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
When my bars are within the shaded area, it's an even market. When the bars are within the shaded area, it's perfect. But when the bars fall outside of the shaded area, they act like rubber bands trying to pull it back down within the shaded area. So like we had these red bars way outside the shaded area.
Yeah, okay.
And they pulled it, they shot it back, and they came back around. So our green bars are way outside the shaded area right now.
Okay.
So that is,
and we went to the day. This is the daily now.
This is the daily, yes. Okay. So on the daily, I'm expecting a little bit of retracement, and that coincides with the little red dot that we just printed as well. So as we move forward here, we'll move down to the 12-hour. The 12-hour, I still like that money flow is staying positive. It's staying even. We have a lot of uncertainty going on in the market right now. You can see with my buy and sell indicators constantly stagger stepping each other. The market doesn't know what direction to go right now. We are within the lines of our hidden momentum down here, but we are decreasing. The momentum is decreasing. So we may have some pullback. There's not any new money in circulation is the thing. And I get that from a financial perspective, that there's no new money entering the markets. There's, we do have the massive, geopolitical complex spending on overseas. Try to use words that don't get me in trouble. But Boeing, companies like that, Lockheed, are getting a lot of spending, and individuals that are investing in them are able to take profits and spend somewhere else within markets. And that's really good for overall global markets, because a lot of the money printing has been trending in that direction, and that's allowed governments to print billions and trillions of dollars in the past without anyone else blinking an eye, in skies of trying to help other countries stabilize, so we can print money out of thin air. Overall, I'm expecting a short pullback within the market, just according to the 12-hour. Let me just drop down to the 4-hour.
Did you see that one? I'm not sure if you saw that that tweet that Jim Cramer made. He said the exact same. He was like, "Oh, the bottom's in, the bull market's here," and he's like the perfect reverse. If you just trade the reverse of everything Jim Cramer says, you will do very well.
But what was weird is he just had another one that was like, "Hey, now's a good time to buy the Bitcoin dip." Did you see that one? And then Bitcoin still shot up.
Well, I mean I agree with you. I think there's going to be a pullback. We're going to see this pullback. It was a big momentum push, and I think it's overpriced right now. I think it will come back down. I'm not sure for how long, but we are in a new month, so I think we're going to print red for a little while.
Yeah. I don't know for how long. I'm not seeing a lot of indicators saying that the market is ready for a long period cool off. At all time levels, it looks like hold on, before I shoot myself in the foot. It does look like on all the time scales from the let's see, I guess from the 15-minute almost all the way up to the daily, the money momentum wave, the green momentum wave, is starting to slope downward. And now it's not sloping into the red, but it is sloping downward.
Down.
So overall, people are taking profits. People are selling. They're taking profits. They're being smart traders. They're being smart with their money. And you also have the whales, though. And I don't have any of the stories on the whales right now. But if we pulled up Whale Watcher, let me see if I can pull up whale alerts on Google here. Let's see what the whales are buying.
I also wonder what the greed and fear index is at. Let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, the fear and greed index is at greed at 58. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna say that we're gonna pull back for a good amount of time here, but I'm just not sure how long, and I think it's gonna depend largely on what's going on geopolitically.
That makes sense. Did Whale Watcher get banned? Let's see. Was it
I'm
whale?
not sure.
Was
Let
it
me.
Whale Alerts? What was the
It,
one that?
yeah, it could have been Whale Alerts. Let me see if I can find it. Are you trying to look at the alerts for like how much the money is flowing in and out of the market, or
Yeah, it would tell
yeah,
you
yeah.
like
Let me
whales
just
are buying
yeah,
a whale just bought 10 million Bitcoin, or it would say
sure, yeah.
whale just
I'm
minted a trillion
Let me
tether.
link you to it. I'll send it to you at our usual place. Hang tight. Okay. You should be able to click that and go right there. And we can bring that up for our viewers.
Well, that's in the Telegram. Let me see if I pull up
Yeah.
um the non-Telegram version.
Okay.
Can you send me the non-Telegram version?
Yeah, of course, man. Hang tight. Are you just looking for the Twitter, or what are you looking for?
Yeah, the Twitter.
Okay.
I'm not. Maybe they're banned me from their Twitter. I don't know.
No, man. Hang on a second. I got it. Okay. Check now.
They used to have a different icon, but this works. All right. So let's see. Whales are buying. Let's see. Oh, I still have us pulled up on the chart there. Let me go ahead and pull that over. All right, perfect. All right, so it looks like whales are buying about 1,000 Bitcoin in February 1st. Another 1,000 Bitcoin February 1st. 100 million USDC. Elon, XRP, BNB. 100 or 1,000 BTC transferred from unknown wallet to Coinbase. That's not really a great sign. That normally means people are getting ready to sell. Yeah, unload. 50,000 USDC. Burned as treasury. I don't know. After reading some of this, maybe I'm not so permeable anymore. I do like that my lengthier indicators on the weekly and monthly are really strong. And overall, yeah, we might have some turmoil in the next month or two. But halving is just right around the corner. April of 24, man. That's it. April 24th is next halving.
A lot can happen in a couple years, man. Like,
are you a believer in the halving cycles?
I think it's superstition at this point, and self-fulfilling prophecy, but no.
Okay.
That's the short answer.
Okay. I'm a believer in the halving cycles. That's how
it's like a prophecy, you know what I mean?
I did really well in crypto because I saw the relation to the halving and an overall market sentiment way before this this event happened last cycle. So I saw the correlation before it was a market trend, before everyone was saying it. I was already investing based off my belief in the halving affecting the market's overall volume and economics. And I did well. Now, I can agree that the markets change over time, and we're in a place in the market where the governments are sucking liquidity out of the markets instead of pumping it in for the first time in years. So it could be different, but I also believe we're approaching election periods, and there's going to be a need for votes and to pump the markets with the new raised debt ceiling is beneficial for votes. That's the whole reason they raised the debt ceiling is so they can print infinite money. And they're voting on raising the debt ceiling again. It's done every year, and it's just to print more and more money. And they've even talked about, hey, let's eliminate the debt ceiling, because what's the point of having a debt ceiling? We're never going to pay this debt off. We'll just print money forever. So those are my stances. Do you have anything else you want to share with the viewers before we jump off? We've been going for about 2 hours now.
I think we crushed it. I think we covered all the news, went through some charts, and I think it's a really good perspective on where the market is, and yeah, man, this was great.
I think you crushed it as well. And is there a place where you want to direct anybody to come find you?
Oh no, man! If you want to find me, don't bother.
Well, if you drop down in our in the comments below, you'll see our link tree, and the link tree will link you to all the different platforms that we're on. Plus, it will link you to some private Telegram groups if you want to get involved and with what we do. Send us a message on there. It'll set you in a private group, and then you send me a message on there. You'll be vetted, and then if you pass that, then you can be added to larger groups. It's just a way for us to weed out the bots and the crazies. But hope to see you on the next stream. And once again, thanks for joining us. Bula.